Hey guys, Trick Out John coming at you with another Awaken Chaos Era video, guys. So today's video, what we're going to be talking about is going to be the latest and greatest patch update, what this means for your account, and what this means for you. Alright, so as you can see here, guys, I do have the patch notes pulled up. Now, this is going to be via the official Discord. If you are not in that official Discord, I highly recommend you head. I have a link down below. Go ahead and join that official Discord. You get a lot more information there. You can talk to the developers, so on and so forth. So you have questions, comments, concerns. This game really does listen to what you're saying, so I highly recommend you get into the official Discord so that way you can go through the proper channels to report stuff like bugs or comments, questions, concerns, so on and so forth. But the other perk of this is it's also really nice to be able to read the patch notes via the Discord, because to me it gets too small when you're talking about this on the actual whatever device you're using to play the game, whether it be BlueStacks, your cell phone, so on and so forth. So I like to actually read all the patch notes via Discord, so I usually wait for them to get updated during the Discord. So they have been updated, so let's go ahead and cover them. Let's talk about them, and let's kind of see how that's going to affect you and your account. So the first thing first, login improved login process. Now you automatically log into the game. This is great up to a point. So I did notice that we did still have our pause when logging in this morning. And actually I had to re-log in altogether to my main. I'm assuming that's just a bug because it just happened, or they just updated this. But my free-to-play, which is what I'm on right now, that logged right in. The only downside I could really see is it did log right in. I mean, it did have like I think a 3 or 4 seconds pause, where I could have went up and selected which account I wanted to log into. That's the only kind of, I guess, complaint I have, but I think it'd be fine. I think that'll work out pretty well for us. The next thing is the iOS resolution optimization for the iPad devices. Now, a lot of people know that, or we're having the issue, I should say, where like their iPads, the screen fit. So when you play the game, you turn your iPad sideways, it wouldn't fit correctly on the screen. And that was driving a lot of people nuts. I know me personally, if I had that issue, it would definitely drive me nuts. So it does seem like they did work on that a little bit, because there are multiple different screen sizes. So it looks like they kind of adjusted that. Also, they added the Google Play account login to the iOS version. That, I think, is probably the best update so far as for the iOS version. Mainly because a lot of people were playing this, but they weren't playing this as an iOS player. They're actually playing this as the pre-launch beta, right? So when we were during that phase, you could play, and you could play via BlueStacks. Well, then once you get into, well, now I like to play on my device. Well, they couldn't play it on their iOS phone, so now they can because of global launch. So I'm really happy to see they did this. I know that'll help a lot of people with account syncing, keeping everything together. I know that's definitely gonna appease a lot of people. Moving on, we have Android resolution optimization for large screen devices. Now, I did hear that Samsung Galaxy tablets were having problems with the fitting of the screen, just like the iOS tablets were. So, sounds like they took that into consideration and they updated that a little bit. Now, the next one's kind of cool. So, packs. The Newbie Hero Pack will now be gifted to players who make any purchase in the shop. Cannot be received again if you have already purchased the Newbie Hero Pack. So in this case, I have prepared a demo. So let's go ahead and show you exactly what this means. So we are on my free-to-play account here, guys. Definitely follow along for my free-to-play account series. Notice that right above my head, you can see this first charge reward here. Now, if I go into the shop and I just say, let's just buy a foodie for gold, that should have unlocked this first charge right here. So go. Or maybe not. The way I understood that is that was supposed to be just given to you. Oh, okay. Maybe not. The way I understood that is if you made a purchase in the market, you should have been able to get that pack for free. It does not look like I am getting that pack for free. So I'm not really sure what that means. Yeah, it says top up any amount to earn the epic hero attunement and 4 items of legendary gear. Now this is only valued at $1 on most accounts. But this is a little weird. I thought that the way they structured this, that I wouldn't have to actually spend any actual money, that I was just going to have to buy the, like a daily pack or a market pack. Maybe if I buy a limited limited shop pack it'll proc, but yeah, I don't think that was worded correctly versus what I'm seeing in action here. So that's interesting. That's an interesting development because yeah, I was unaware of this. Honestly, I thought I was going to do this and be like, oh hey, yeah, cool, it works. Fortunately, that was not the case. So it makes you wonder. Because if I'm reading this correctly, right, the Newbie Hero Pack will now be gifted to players who make any purchase in the shop. Well, I mean, in the shop, you can use the free purchases. I just made a free purchase. But yeah, maybe not. All right, moving on. Arcane Dominator. We have Rolling Tulpa. Decreased damage of countering blow from 150% to 100%. Enhanced counterattack damage to the boss remains the same. So what this is talking about is the Tulpa has a special ability proc where he will counter attacks. And the left ad, I believe, actually puts enhanced counterattack on him, allowing him to do more counterattack. So it looks like they scaled that down just a little bit, which is fine. I mean, the biggest thing with Tulpa, right, is this shield. You gotta make sure you're breaking that shield once you get him down past that 50% mark. Alright, next we have chat. The ultimate ability animation will now not interrupt the in-game chat. Opening chat will no longer pause the battle. Good. Arena fixed an error where those in legendary rank would not drop to the diamond rank. Interesting. Didn't know that was a thing. I don't push arena that far. Moving on, optimization. Fix the display error on emulators. Okay, I didn't have any issues with this, but I had heard of it. I've heard of that problem, so that's interesting. I hope that fixed it correctly. Guild names now support all languages in the game. Awesome system. Improve the UI and the player portrait settings. Okay. I don't really mess around with player portrait. It's not something that to me is all that beneficial, or you know, I don't care. It is what it is. Moving on, hero balances. All stats are based on max skill levels. Okay, so Mognar. Mognar, for those of you who don't know, he's a pretty good starting champion for defensive down. Now, let's see here. Poem of Nar decreased the skill cooldown from 4 to 3 turns, so he got a buff. Mog's Rage decreases the skill cooldown from 5 to 4 turns. Awesome, more of a buff. Before deals 150% damage to an enemy with a 50% chance to inflict stun for 1 turn, so this target is affected by stun, then grants plus 100% attack. Okay, after deals 150% damage to an enemy with an 80% chance to inflict a stun, so he's going to stun more often, and the rest stays the same. Thomas is a really good character, guys. I'm going to start actually building him on my whale account because I want to start playing with him because I think he's got some major utility. But it looks like they buffed him as well. So Deadly Melee decreased the skill cooldown from 4 to 3 turns. This is awesome. That's going to help my cause when I do my Thomas video. Moving on, Melissa trait Hunter Vanguard 2. Previously plus 30% attack, crit damage, and speed, which decreases by 10% per turn. Now 45%. So they buffed her. And which decreases by 15% per turn. Yeah, so it looks like they buffed her, and then yeah, they just buffed her. They just scaled her up a little higher, 15% higher. Lydia Assassinate increased damage from 80 to 100%. That's awesome because her A1 was such a letdown as far as damage dealing goes. So that's cool. They adjusted that. That's very good. Balbera. Now this is an interesting change. Whirlwind Swords deals 120% damage to all enemies plus 60% damage to the main target. This attack deals 20% bonus damage to targets under a negative effect. Okay. Interesting. So I'm not familiar enough with his kit to see if they added that or if that was just a change, but I think they added that. Next we have Cyrus. Chained Execution increased damage from 200 to 240%. Now that is a good boost. That was my biggest problem with why I haven't fused her yet, but now I probably will because she's going to do a significant more amount of damage. And honestly, I want that damage for Tulpa anyways. That's where I'm going to use Cyrus at the most. Next, we have Molhex Assault. Increased damage from 150% to 200%. I love that. I like Molhex. I have yet to build him on my main account, but I know what his potential is, and man, does he got the potential. So I'm glad to see that they did buff him again. So it looks like they did a bunch of buffs on characters, so on and so forth, which is great. I'd rather see the buffs than the nerfs at the current moment because, yeah, I mean, everything seems to be fairly balanced as it is. So now let's hopefully we'll balance it a little bit more. All right, moving on. Additional balances. Mage, Water, Earth, Fire. Skill 1, decreased damage from 100% to 80% skill decreased. I'm not 100% sure what this means. Horus, Doris, and Gorus, Venom Bites. I believe those are common characters. So they did those. I wonder if these top ones weren't also common characters. I think they are, guys. Looks like they nerfed the common characters a little bit. Not that big of a deal, I guess. Dwarven Miner did previously deals 100% damage down to 80%. Yep. So yeah, it looks like they nerfed some of the common characters, is what I'm assuming. Once again, I apologize. I'm not familiar with these characters that much. Next we have hero bug fixes. Fix the display error where soldiers were not disappearing after William's ultimate ability. Fix the description error of corrupt Oroc's abilities in traditional Chinese. Oh, I don't read Chinese, so I'm glad that they fixed that. Fix the translation error in Valeria's ability before converts 20% of this character's current health into 180% to all enemies. Grants a bonus turn upon the defeat of an enemy. So yeah, okay, cool. So they did change that because they didn't really specify that great. So that's cool. Afterwards we have consumes 20%. Yep. So they basically, so yeah, I remember seeing this because it was the converts is what people were getting confused on, and now the switch is consumed. So now, like when they converted that, it didn't make sense. I had a lot of people who actually, I want to say they were Portugal, that were asking me like, what does that mean? And yeah, they didn't word that correctly for the translation to work out. But now they did. That's awesome. At least get that fixed, because you never want people to kind of go, what does this mean, or what's this do? It's kind of a bummer. It kind of like misleads you on like if a player's good or not, or a character's good or not, so to speak. All right, other bug fixes. We have fixed a bug where players could still see messages from the previous guild after leaving. It seems minor, but definitely something you want fixed. Index fixed an ability display error when switching heroes. Okay. Battle Pass fixed the challenge quest stars stats error when the season would change. All right, I never encountered that issue. So okay. Purchase fixed the display error in the title when purchasing summoning crystals. Never noticed that. Hero synthesis fixed the bug where hero levels were incorrect under the hero synthesis interface. I did see that one, especially when I was synthesizing Santis. I noticed I had a couple of characters that were actually overleveled that I was using, and I did notice that. So that was a little interesting. I haven't tried it again, so hopefully it did get fixed. Shop fixed a bug where shop currencies did not show in some languages. Okay. Login fixed the bug when switching the language setting in the login page would freeze the game. Well, that's good. I mean, you want to be able to freely switch your language, right, guys? Notice the in-game email shows Balberith whirling. Okay, so it looks like they corrected the in-game. So this is good. Because I was reading this on Discord, I got the most current update. All right, let's go ahead and move on. It also has, I want to see, looks like they have just a couple more notes here. It's going to be right next to my head. Hotfix, text fixed an error in Oroc's trait. Battle fixed a bug where Bran the Brilliant would incorrectly deal true damage based on guild boss's max HP. Ooh, I bet that skill is super high. Profile fixed a bug where data of the Void Tower was shown multiple times under the Stages tab in the player profile. Okay. Arena fixed a bug where high-ranking players could be matched with bots. Well, you don't ever want your high-ranking players maxed with bots, so that's kind of a rip. So I'm glad they got that fixed. You know, you want all the platinum, the gold tier, so on and so forth. You don't want them facing a bunch of bots. You want them to actually have to try a little bit. So yeah, that's cool. So it looks like we had a decent update overall. I would say that was a successful update. The only thing I'm a little miffed about is this whole free pack of this first charge reward. Granted, I am on the free to play. I will not be spending any money on this account. So if it is, you actually have to spend actual money. I will never get this pack. But I do think that maybe that was just a miswording. Hopefully they either fix the wording, or B, they just, they fix it to where I can buy anything in the shop and or market to work that out for me. But if not, and it is what it is, and we won't use it on the free-to-play. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Definitely stay tuned. I should probably be doing a free-to-play update within the next day or two, and kind of let you guys know where I'm at. Spoiler alert, I have beaten normal, and I'm almost done with hard. We're going to be hopefully making it to mythic by no later than this weekend. And then that's when the fun stuff is going to begin on the account. I also have not used any of my promo codes on this account, so I should be plugging all the promo codes in. I would say within the next day or two. I'll definitely put it in the video and do some shard pulls when I do it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This would be your daily updates as far as what we have going on in the game. And until next time, guys, peace.